this should be a crazy match. So we've got Falcon Sight, which is, oh darn, I just lost it. I believe that's Aurore's deck here. Yeah, so Falcon Sight versus Shrewd Anteater. So, Mass Mutation versus Coda, and this is a match where like my analysis skills are probably breaking down a little bit. They're both going to be fast, disruptive. We've got the double life ward, double control of the weak on Anteater's side. We've got double Infernus with the Mark of Dis, Snudge, Cyberclone on this side. We do have the Sanctum on Aurora's side, one of the best Sanctum players out there. But man, these are two very scary decks, and I'm so excited to see what happens. Again, it's probably going to be a pretty fast game. I think both of these players know what they're doing. Obviously, Coda can just be fast anyways, and there's going to be Amber Pips flying from this side. Falcon Sight is very much more of a, I think it's one of the one that kind of has like an inevitable win con, because you look at these stats to begin with, and they don't seem that scary, but in the hands of someone who knows what they're doing, it's a terrifying deck. We do have the double Font of the Eye with the smites there, Radiant Truths, and not a ton of creature control, but it might be enough. 3 Fates is obviously very strong. Lights Out is really good against all this capture, and no real way to dump the Amber, but lots of ways to just destroy it. So this could be anyone's game. I think, again, early Logos from Anteater could really just get enough, kind of enough speed to end the game before Falcon Sight can really get going. But there's a lot of pips here for those Infernus to hit and stuff. There's a lot of disruption and even purging from hand and everything. So let's go find this game and see if they're ready to go. Looks like it is not quite up yet. Just watch the Discords, make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh yeah, Anteater is definitely no joke. The disruption and the speed again might just be enough to kind of get it there before this one has time to set up. But again, this one is also doing some disruption and stuff. We do have Snudge, which is not super great against life wards. Yeah, we'll see. It'll probably be a little bit of an uphill battle for Aurore here, but I'm not counting out anyone at this stage. Obviously, both have made it pretty far already. Let's look at their journeys really quick. Looks like, yeah, Aurora's had to battle through 3 really good opponents already to get here, and same with Nova. So neither of them had that first round bye. Both are, yeah, working really hard to get here, but also both very very well known kind of titans of the game. So oh shoot, there do have the game. Okay, so I am going to take my face off for this one. Don't know if they gave us hands or not. We'll see in a second. But again, we've got Nova on top, Legend of Elena, and then Aurora on the bottom, piloting Falcon Sight, and Nova piloting Anteater. This is going to be crazy. I'm really excited, but glad we're here to watch this. And yeah, don't have the hands visible. Totally fine. Definitely want them just playing at best of their game and not worried about that stuff. So let's just dive in and see what happens. Early life ward from Nova. Again, just getting that disruption going. Aurora's probably going to try and get some creatures down fast. I'd imagine these life wards have kind of best times to play them, especially after maybe the mothers come down or stuff, in order to actually pop them. But we do see a really good start here from Aurora, getting 4 disc creatures down at once, one of those being the Snudge, which could just bounce this life ward back. So we'll see how Nova responds. We do see the 3 Fates. The perfect answer right at the right time there for that board. So, um, yeah, both of them had really fast starts, but I think that answer there from Nova is pretty rough for Aurore here. Just going into Sanctum, getting some stuff out. We did see that Life Orb popped there. Just, again, trying to slow down what Falconsight is doing. Falconsight really does want those creatures on the board, so we do see the Gizzleheart Zealot get discarded, but not too much else. Got a couple of pips out, which is never bad. Just trying to match the Amber gain of Nova's deck here. So I'm trying to get a drink of water in while we're talking, but there's so much going on. Yeah, Zach, this is a really interesting matchup, and this is where, again, my skills of knowing how a matchup is going to go, like, really start breaking down, really just at this level in general. Like, I haven't played enough of these, I haven't gotten to watch enough of these, which is why I'm so glad we're getting to do these streams. I know best of one is not always the best indicator of how a matchup will play out, like, time after time, but we will get some indication of what these decks are doing. We have an early Help from Future Self from Nova, which is probably not exactly what Nova's wanting to do here. That does open you up to those Infernus starting to pick off some of those key cards. Having this in hand halfway through the game can really help you save some things. But we'll probably see this get hit by Infernus pretty soon here, although we haven't seen any logos yet, so we might just need a turn to cycle through the deck on Aurore's side. But we'll see. We do have the Tide Mechanic getting us an early check on Nova's side. So have to deal with that or some Amber this turn. Okay, and we do see the disc call. Could be as simple as the Brabble fighting into Time Traveler, which would actually be not the worst if you plan on doing some Infernusing as well. So you can hit the Time Traveler and the Help from Future Self. We do see the Mark of Disc going on the Titan Mechanic. And Brabble fights the Valen Analyst. Let me see. Each time you use an artifact. Yeah, so that Valen Analyst can get some incremental value over the game. There are a lot of artifacts, a lot of good dis-artifacts in Nova's deck here. And we see that Infernus. So let's see what gets hit. I would almost say it's probably going to be the Effervescent, but just goes for some pips there, trying to slow down this deck as much as possible, which makes sense. And then we do see an Implosion to blow up the Titan Mechanic as well. So for Aurore's side, hoping for a very small Logos turn here from Nova, but we'll see. Oh man, I'm so excited about this game. This is like the stuff I wish we had. I wish we had more eyes on games like this happening. I know it's going to be a while before we get to see these in person still, although we will have the Vault Tours starting up this summer. This is like even across like international borders and stuff, we're getting to see some of the best, and it's just awesome. Okay, so there we get one of those Logos turns just to try and get the cycling going. Still not check for either of them. And the Dimension Door being discarded there as well is an interesting decision since Nova's deck does not have a ton of creature control. And that I guess we did cycle back into the 3 Fate, so that is live again. But I don't know. I imagine long-term the strategy, if your Aurore's deck is to try and remove creature control from Nova's deck, it's going to take a little bit because you have to also just worry about the speed of Anteater. And there's other troubling cards like the Control the Weaks that you have to worry about, but the more you can get a board established and start doing those like captures and things with the Font of the Eyes and everything, the more you're really going to hinder this deck from just kind of bursting ahead and winning. Okay, so we've got a Seeker Needle and then a Pawn Sacrifice to blow up the Time Traveler, which does put that in the discard now. We'll see what gets hit by the Pawn Sacrifice. We hit the 2 flank creatures. So there might be another... We might see the Lights Out here. Oh, it's Poison Wave. Okay, so Poison Wave deals with all of it there. And a Lights Out to go into check. So we are at check on Nova's side with a scary board too. Dodger is... big enough to fight into a lot of the things that Aurore wants to put down here. Snurret will take him off check. We'll take Nova off check here. And we do see the second Infernus coming down. That's going to hit some really crucial stuff. Still none of that dis stuff that you really want to be getting rid of for a long-term game against this. But we do see the lights out and pawn sacrifice. So again, just hitting more pips, trying to really just slow down the deck more than kind of cripple it. We'll probably get to the crippling later. Ooh, and the double life ward comes down. I would imagine the Schuler is going to be fighting into this Snurret. We do see another Schuler coming down, stealing one, getting back to check, and Pit Demon. So really the scary board coming down on Nova's side here. That this is something that Aurore's going to have to deal with. Let's take a look at what we have for creature control here. We do have some really good stuff. Really in any house, I imagine we're going to see control the weak here. That's probably what the time thinking is. Depending on what you're going to control the weak, you may fight or reap with this Schuler as well. Obviously, this disc can kind of just fight into some things to clear it up if you lock them back into dis. But the Implosion and Mark of Dis are gone. Oh, very, very lucky for Aurore there. There's no control the weak. So, yeah, should be able to go into a Sanctum turn here and hopefully do some board cleanup. This most likely means Nova will be getting a key since these Font of the Eyes are not set up yet. Yeah, but we do just start getting some more of this firepower down on the board. The sad thing is, again, this just really gets punished by 3 Fates, hitting both of these and then one of Nova's, but we'll see. Nova just went dis. I have to imagine just a 3 Fates into Control the Weak here would still be a really good play, because you could also Life Ward and just kind of lock down the game for a couple turns. Reap with the... I guess you can't reap until this is gone, so it'd be a steal and then maybe a fight with Schuler. Instead we see Shadows. What do we have in Shadows? Bait and switch, just stealing one there. A couple other steals that could be coming out. Again, the Poison Wave is already gone. Relentless Whispers could be happening, or just kind of dumping some more of these creatures like the Umbras. Do you see Ring of Invisibility on Dodger, which is really scary, that being able to just fight and steal at will. So there goes the Barrister Joya for an Amber Gain off of the Seeker Needle as well, and then a steal off of the Urchin just to get right back into check. And then, yeah, there's the Life Ward. So, oh, man. I think, yeah, lots happened this game. I think that really early 3 Fates just right after that really great start from Aurore was very, very painful. Very good smite there from Golgotha, though, to just clear that entire board. We do get that capture off the font to stop the key here. But things are looking a little bit scary for Aurore. Again, I know she's not out of this by any means, because this deck, again, kind of has that like inevitability it's working towards. If it can get to a certain point, it'll be really tough for Nova to kind of work towards that third key, especially with no key cheat, right? Yeah. What's crazy is we haven't seen any of those mothers yet. So this is actually a lot slower play probably than Anteater is used to, and we're going back into dis here as well. So I wonder, let's see. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what we're waiting on here. Not having the autoencoder. Is there? Yeah, there is autoencoder. Yeah, I think there's things that have been hurting both sides for sure. Here we're going to see no creatures put down on Nova's side, so nothing for these Sanctum people to fight into, but we do have a Squire Alice, so choosing not to use the Life Ward there, really interesting choice. Trying to spread out that control. But yeah, I think Aurore's going to be trying really hard to get back into some of those, or recycle the deck to get these Infernus before Nova's able to recycle, but I don't think it's going to happen. We do see a second Control the Weak into Sanctum here, which is probably going to, might just seal the game at this point. That's a really, really brutal. We're going to see a Reap and nothing else, so that key does go through for Nova. But a lot of their strongest stuff kind of been used in those turns, but again, we're probably going to see both those mothers come down now. Neurosiphon for value too. It's just brutal. Yeah, all of the mothers coming out, so we are going to see a recycle into just tons of value. Life Ward for no creatures. It's not in check, but yeah, we'll see if that autoencoder comes down now and starts getting some value. But yeah, like you said, Zoc, is probably a little bit too late for that to really save the game here. We do Lethal Logica into Cyberclone, but the Cyberclone has to get discarded because of the Life Ward. We do have an opposition research, so this scary Logos line at least can't Reap this turn. No stealing going to be happening, which it's not a ton of steal from hand on Nova's side, but glad to have it there. And getting to check on Aurora's side is not bad. Lots of discards here, but there's nothing left in the draw pile, so you're hardly even getting any archiving it either. Yeah, Nova having this finish through when they cycle the deck, getting all of these mothers out is, yeah, it's brutal. And it's going to be really, really tough for Aurora to crawl back at this point, but not going to count anyone out until it's over for sure. But it is looking really rough. And again, I think there are plenty of games where with a different board state, Falcon's Eye is not out even with this like amber difference and things like that. But yeah, in this situation, it's going to be unfortunate. Yeah, so we do see the Control of the Weak into Logos, and I believe there's no amber control from hand unless there's a capture pip, so you'd have to be able to kill something and capture twice with the font. We'll see what Aurora can do here, but that could just be the game. Yeah, and this is where we're saying, again, the best of one is never a great... it's never the best indicator of both decks and both players, but yeah, definitely really, really rough ending there. Things just kind of swung with some of the draws and timing on things there. I just couldn't get things quite going on Aurora's side. Again, getting the autoencoder super late is not what this deck wants. Didn't get to purge probably the targets you're really hoping for. But yeah, Aurora Saiyan is probably not a great matchup. I think that much disruption, especially the Life Wards. The Life Wards did so much because the Amber control in Falcon's Eye is very creature-based. And so it is a tough matchup in general. Again, I think that some of the early creature control we saw from Anteater did not help, but because we saw that, we did not see this Logos line come sooner. And again, this Logos line could have done a lot of work as well. So it's tough. And yeah, the 3/3 Fates doing so much over the course of the game is not what this deck wants to see either. Yeah, and the no autoencoder is really, really brutal for all the Life Wards and Control the Weaks and stuff. But yeah, that recycle at the end back into Control the Weak and everything, pretty brutal. But great games played to both. I believe might go look at some of the brackets after this. I believe they're both still doing fairly well. Let's take a look. So yeah, Aurora's now in losers bracket on B and C, still in the winners bracket with Bazzi in Group A. Again, these secondary decks could be the better deck of the two that they brought to each, so neither of them are counted out at all. Yeah, definitely luck, but also that's just Keyforge. That's how it goes. This is great stuff. Thanks, Not Tonight. I feel a little bit flustered, and again, there's so much going on in these games, and I'm a little bit out of my depth, even in just like the level of deck, but I'm loving getting to do this. I'm loving that I got to catch both of these kind of titans of the game, go at it, and hoping we can catch more of them. So let's look really quick. So we've got Nova going up to round 5 in the winners bracket in B group. Let's go look at Nova's other stuff here. If I can find them on here. Okay, so Nova's also into the losers bracket in C group, but still in the winners bracket in both A and B group, which is very, very impressive. Some really strong stuff. 4-0 here now with Anteater, 3-0 over here. Yeah, best of luck to both of them. And again, thank you so much to everyone for coordinating stuff on the Discord so we could watch some of these. I'll put these up on YouTube probably pretty fast here. I'll try to split them up so that we can see both the KFPL Good game and then the Aurore Nova game, and you can go back and watch those. But yeah, awesome stuff, and thank you everyone for coming in to watch. I don't think I'm gonna keep streaming much longer here. Get my face up because I don't think. Let's see. I didn't see anything else scheduled for today. Yeah, so I think we're gonna call it there. I know some people want to see some like deck overview and just like stuff. I think Zeramis was maybe talking about that once, and like I would love to, but I need to be way more organized than I am right now to go through, because there's just so much. There's so much information to go through, and I love it, and I love what we're seeing here. Like all of these stats and everything is just awesome. Which my face is probably in front of all of that again. You can see some of it. So yeah, that's only Aurora's second loss. Still only one loss for Nova. Shaka has not lost yet, which is very, very impressive, but a lot more games played on Nova's side here as well. Let's go ahead and look at some of the statistics. Got to go see how bad DT is doing. I don't mean it like that. There's still some good DT decks in it for sure. We do see another instance of, let's see, Coda beating So this is a really, really interesting one that we're seeing. The 7-3 Coda over is pretty crazy. And then we see Coda over Worlds Collide 5-9. And I think this is why Worlds Collide was such a great set, because I think before Coda was just beating like everything a lot. And then Worlds Collide came in and it was like, look, you might still be really good for many sets to come, but I'm going to stop you. And so we do have that kind of rock, paper, scissors happening a little bit, which you really want. Even between sets, you want some, some of that rock, paper, scissor play so that there's decisions and stuff and all kinds of things. But the DT versus one-sidedness, I don't think that's super mind-boggling. I think there's... it is actually really interesting because a lot of the better DT decks are trying to outrush which is what a lot of Coda does too. I think the thing with Coda is, like we just saw, Coda has the disruption to really slow down Mass Mutation from also doing its disruption. Because they both have some of the best disruption in the set with like Mark of Disc, Control the Weak, and stuff like that. But I think Coda does it and is often a little bit faster than whereas when it's trying to do it against DT has very little like solid disruption, unfortunately, compared to what we're going to see in like Winds of Exchange, Unfathomable. It's just unfortunate we didn't quite get to that level in DT Unfathomable, because I think it would have made it a much more well-rounded set. But yeah, pretty brutal. I think we also just see a lot more of the common artifact control in Mass Mutation, where some of those tide dependent artifacts just get taken out a lot faster in this matchup compared to like AOA. And yeah, I mean, it's not doing great against many of the sets, unfortunately, but yeah, I think that's this isn't super surprising to me. I think DT I would expect to do a lot better against AOA especially, but I would expect it to do better against Worlds Collide too. But again, if Worlds Collide is kind of tagged against the Rush, then it makes sense that it would also be doing okay against the Russian DT, but there's still DT decks left in it. I don't know if there's a fast way to see those, but yeah, I don't think, I think we'll still see some good DT decks go a ways. I do know Linus' deck just got knocked out. That was one of the really good ones, kind of an OTK deck. But we'll see. Is there a fast way? I don't know if Zeramis is still on here. I don't know if there's a fast way to see what DT decks are still. Yeah, because these don't show what set they're in, but cool. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I think I gotta call it there, but thank you again so much for you all who are scheduling stuff so that we can grab it. I know Dinobot got a couple of games recorded. I think I was on Friday, so go check out his channel. And we'll just try to keep doing these as they come, but I'm loving it. It's awesome stuff. Thank you again so much to Karen for running this, because it's been an awesome format. Awesome. Yeah, just great high level Keyforge. We love to see it. But thank you all so much. We will see you again soon. Be on the lookout for a Winds of Exchange opening stream once I get my email. I don't know what's happening, but whenever that comes this week, I'll probably hop on for an hour or two and try and do that too. But that's all I got. Thanks again so much, and we'll see you all later.